Hey guys, today we're going to talk about my favorite presentation, the Texas rig. So why is the Texas rig one of my favorite presentations? Well, first, there's no end to the type of bait you can throw. I mean, you can jump from a worm to a beaver bait to a creature bait or anything like that, depending on how the fish are feeling or what they're feeding on. Second, you can keep it almost entirely weedless. You can throw it in a heavy cover, you can flip it, pitch it into the grass, or you can throw it into laydowns and like brush piles, stuff like that. And for the most part, you're going to be able to get that bait back out of there, and you're going to be able to drag it and disturb those like branches and or that grass, and that fish is going to sense that, and it's going to come looking for that disturbance, and it's going to see this little worm shimmying down and floating on the bottom, and that's going to induce a strike most times. So first, let's talk about how to rig it. So I like to throw it on 17-pound fluorocarbon, which is really invisible in the water, hard to see, but it's also strong enough to throw it into some tough cover. What you want to do is you start with your little bullet weight, run it through the line, and I don't like to peg it. I like to keep it free floating back and forth. Gives that bait a natural presentation. And what we'll do is take any type of flipping hook or EWG hook, anything like that. We're going to do a snell knot. Now this knot was taught to me by Kurt Smits. He's a good friend of mine. And this is actually his setup. We're going to just do the line like that. We do 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back through the loop here. Let's give it a little saliva. Press that knot all the way down. Clip off the extra. And there you go. And the reason we do this is when that fish grabs this, you know, your bait and your bullet weight and everything, when you set that hook on that fish, it pops that hook straight up. And usually your hook sets will be in the roof of that fish's mouth. Alright, now that we got it tied up, I'll show you how to put a worm on. So we go through the top of the worm to that first bend in the hook. We're going to come out, pull it all the way down, and twist. So now that worm is sitting on top of that hook a little bit. We'll run it all the way to the eye of the hook. See how we got him just kind of sitting there? And then we're going to look at where the hook point wants to go. You just naturally lay it on there. You just kind of pinch him forward, and then put that hook in there. And there's your Texas rig. Now that bait's totally weedless, and when you cast that out, that bullet weight's gonna fall down first. The bait's gonna shimmy down nice and slow until it makes contact with the bottom. And then with these TRD worms, they float, so he'll be down there looking, you know, a little bit like this. You can kind of just drag him along the bottom. You can yank him up, give him all kinds of different actions depending on how the fish are reacting to the bait. So I like to throw the Texas rig on a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. This is a St. Croix Mojo Bass, one of my favorite rods actually. I pair it with a Lew's Carbon Fire 7:5:1 gear ratio reel, and then 17-pound fluorocarbon. This is a really good sensitive setup. I can throw that bait pretty far, and I get a lot of sensitivity in this rod. So when that fish picks up that bait, you know, just that little tick, that little movement that he makes, I can feel that in this rod. And then all I gotta do is reel down to him and set the hook. Alright, well that wraps up the video. That's everything I know about the Texas rig and why I like it. If you have any tips or tricks you want to add, leave them in the comments. Or if you have any questions, hit me up. I'd like to answer them. I'm John Flynn, and thanks for watching.